Hey, pickers. Mighty Mike, Pickin' Weeds Vintage. How are ya?
Hello. Hello.
First off, I want to say thank you with a lot of gratitude from our hearts that we reach 500 followers, subscribers on Facebook. We're over 100 subscribers on YouTube, and we just reached 6,000 views. We're over 6,000 views on YouTube. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, we're going to take advantage of 3 days of rain, and you could look down there at the raised garden beds. I got some work to do, but we got some seed today, and I'm just so anxious to get out there in the yard. It's early April, and we're here in Southeast Pennsylvania, so now is the time to start planting the cool weather seeds like radishes, like lettuce, like the early sugar peas, and now's the time to do it before the rain comes, right? Annie Lennox? Okay, I have a confession to make. I gotta come clean.
Really?
I'm an olive junkie. This is a big jar of olives. Mario, since 1937. Proudly made in Spain. When I just came from Walmart, these are just over $12, and that is a big jar of olives. Some of the olives that you get at the grocery store, they're about this, the jars are about this big, and they're very tall and thin, and you're paying $7 or $8, even $9. And for this much, wow. Net weight 44 ounces. That's a huge jar of olives. Let me ask you something. If you had to choose between salty or sweet, which would it be? Would it be salty or would it be sweet? I think at this stage in my life, if you had asked me years ago, I probably would have said sweet, but I'm salty all day long. All right, so we got our radish seeds. Wow, look at some of these seeds. 22 days until harvest. We got some melting sugar snow peas. Those are a little bit longer, 72 days to harvest. And then we have our lettuce. So we'll probably plant all 4 packets of lettuce. I love just taking the garden snips or the scissors and just going down there with a colander and cutting some fresh lettuce. Ooh, that sounds good. Or maybe you want to make a BLT. Grab a tomato out of the whiskey barrel and then cut up some lettuce. Ooh, yeah, that's living. Okay, and then we'll put at least 2 packets of the radishes in and at least 1 packet of the snow peas. As a gardener, you always want to be keeping your eye on the weather. We have 3 days of solid rain heading our way. So it all starts this afternoon. So today, this afternoon, is an ideal time to go out there in the garden and plant these vegetables. It's only going to get up to 59 degrees. There's not too bad of a wind. To me, that's a perfect day to garden. And then once we put these plants, these seeds into the ground, then the fun part starts. We can watch them grow. Yeehaw! All right, before I get started, I make sure that I have all of my things that I need, my equipment that I need to get these beds ready. Got my gloves, my seeds in the bag, my kneeling pad. By the way, kneeling pads are like $9.99 at Walmart. So if you find any at a yard sale or flea market for $1 or $2, I would grab them. Hey, how do you like my new headband?
Oh, yeah.
So I think we are ready, and we're gonna be planting in this bed, in this bed, in this bed, and in this bed for starters. But who knows where it's gonna take me. There is beauty in the sunlight, and the soft blue heaven above. Oh, the world is full of beauty when the heart is full of love. Ain't that the truth? All right, so let's just turn the soil over a little bit, maybe pull a couple weeds out here. Yes, you do get some weeds in early April. Let's see what we're working with. This is a nice bed to use because it's right at the base of the house here, the wall on the south part of the house. And so even though it does get the 6 hours of sun you need, it's not the all-day blasting sun. And lettuce, I think you get it to go longer in the season if you're not getting that blasted sun, and it kind of wilts by the end of the day, especially on the really hot days. So this is a good spot for lettuce. You don't have to use a pick, but it just, that first time to turn the soil makes it easier. And as you get older, it's nice to have aids like that to take the pressure off your joints. That's some good soil. Well-made bed, 4x4. Turn that soil, loosen it up. You'll get better drainage and your plants will do better. And you can pull some of the roots out from the weeds that got in it at the end of the season. Can't wait to plant our marigolds. Remember, we harvested marigold seed from last year, so if you want to go back and look at that video, we worked outside on a nice mild, was it fall day or winter day? I can't remember, but it's on our YouTube channel under harvesting free, or how to get free marigold seed. And marigolds keep the bunnies away from eating your produce, your lettuce in this bed, because you know bunnies, they like carrots and they love lettuce. They love just about everything in the garden. That's why we have our owl over there in the corner, our faux owl with the head turning. Okay, this bed's looking pretty good, Ollie. This is the first time I'm using the head camera, the headband camera for GoPro. I've got a big head, so it fits pretty snug, but I didn't want to loosen it. Yeah, this is pretty good. Enough to sow our seeds, make some rows. Let's get this lettuce in the ground. I like to wear gloves. Not everybody does. I don't mind getting my hands dirty either. Well, just being out here in nature, hearing the birds chirp, that's such a positive thing. Gardening is such a great hobby. I've been gardening my whole life, but I still like to read the directions to see. For example, the sandy lettuce, cover with 1/8 inch of soil. So it's nice just to, most of these are just very small seed, and you just got to cover them up so the birds don't eat them. But again, we are planting them today. We got our 4 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, because we got 3 days of rain coming our way, and it looks like this bed is ready to go. So let's go ahead and make a little indentation here. I mean, everybody has their own way of doing things. Whatever works for you. There's plenty of YouTube videos out there to show you. All right, let's see here. See how small the seed is. It is tiny. And I just sprinkle it in. You know what we're just going to do? We're just going to do one row. And you can spread them out a little bit. Let me push the two sides in like that. Then I like to give it a little tap on the way back. So there you go. First row in. We got the sandy lettuce. I like that stringy lettuce, that sandy lettuce. All right. Next, let's do some spinach. That was my bad Popeye imitation. All right. These seeds will be a little bit bigger. What do you think, Ollie? You ready for garden? Yeah, look at these seeds. These are a little bit bigger. And they're saying to plant these every 2 inches. So, I'm just eyeballing. Some people get a ruler. If you can get any of the roots from the weeds, by all means, pull them out. Get rid of those ugly weeds. Again, I probably could have gotten 2 rows, but now we know that some of them will take, maybe not all, and you can thin the herd as they come up. Colin cow herd. And just pull that soil over and give it a pat. Okay, we got 2 rows down. 2 more to go, Ollie. This is the bib. This is really soft. It's like the butter lettuce. So good. Now this one says, sow directly in a garden as early as the soil can be made fine and loose. Plant seeds every 2 inches, covering firmly with soil, thin to one plant every 12 inches when seedlings are 2 inches tall. Harvest the entire head at maturity. So, wow. Look at how small these seeds are. We can thin the herd. I'm just getting them in the ground. It's kind of my strategy. There's quite a few seeds in here. Same thing. Cover it up. Pat it down. All right. Then we have the lettuce gourmet blend, 45 days to harvest. It says after danger of frost, sow outdoors. So you know what? I think we might wait a little bit. We're just at the border of that line there. I think we're gonna wait a little bit. So, okay, we got these 3 rows in, and then we'll do a 4th row here. Very nice. All right, let's plant some radishes and some peas. All right, we got sugar peas that'll come up on the trellis, and then we'll do radishes in the main part of the bed. Is that a worm? Looks like a nice big earthworm. Boy, that's good to see. As a gardener, you want those worms making the soil nice, putting their castings in there. Yippee-ki-yay. Oh, gardening is fun. It's good cardio. Wonder if we're going to get any wrens in this year in our birdhouse. It's always nice to have a bird bath too. A water source, you'll get more birds. So if you have room for a small pond or whatever, that's nice too. I like to do it by hand. But for this, we'll put the gloves on. Try to get some of these roots out of here so you don't have to contend with them in the summertime when that grass will just grow like crazy if you don't keep up. See all those roots I'm taking out. Gardening is great because you get outside, get the fresh air, get some sun on your skin. Of course, be careful too. Make sure you wear a hat, put some sunblock on. But yeah, it's just a wonderful hobby, and many times when I came home stressed from work, I just go right to the garden or spend a weekend in the garden and melt the stress away. I solve many a problem working in my garden. This is another 4x4 bed, and we're gonna do radishes out in this section, and we're gonna do sugar peas up against the trellis. I like eating sugar peas raw. I don't need them cooked. They're great in salads when they're raw. Great in a stir fry. If I am going to cook them, put them in a stir fry. Put some olive oil in them. Of course, butter's great, but you got to be careful of that. Cholesterol, right? All right, this looks pretty good. Let's just touch up this area here. And when you put a garden bed in, make sure that you can work from all the different angles. And for a raised bed like this, it's nice. I can get just about anywhere. And with the sugar peas climbing up the trellis, I can go behind, and I can go over to the other side too. So keep that in mind when you are planning a garden, which is fun. Get the whole family involved. Grow your own food. You know, the price of food has gone up, and when you can grow it yourself, it's fresh right out of the garden. There's nothing like it. All right, now let's get some sugar peas going here. Melting sugar snow pea. 72 days to harvest. When should I start planting? April to May and late June. All right. Look at these seeds. So I said every 2 inches, I just put it there and push it down. Again, just kind of eyeballing. I know what these plants look like when they start coming up the vines. So they are climbers. So you want to make sure that they have something to climb onto, like a trellis. I'm just pushing it down with my finger. See that?
And I'll just push that soil over there, pat it down. Alrighty, looking good. All right, we have enough for another row over there. Let me just move this over to here. Hello, Mr. Owl. Oh, and there's a garden spider right there. All right, now, I don't know what kind of spider, black widow, I don't know, but it was in the garden, so I called it a garden spider. Let's see here. Can we put this here like so? All right, now, oh, I'm excited about radishes. I love radishes. Healthy snack. Look at this one. 25 days to harvest. The early Scarlet Globe. These are such a nutritious snack. In full sun, sow 2 seeds per inch in the row. Cover seeds firmly with soil. When plants have 3 or 4 leaves, thin to 1 inch apart for a steady crop. Sow every 10 days until warm weather, and again in the fall until 30 days before frost. So these are definitely cool weather plants, veggie plants to grow. And these are your radish seeds. Some people take them and they just broadcast them. They just spread them like that. Where's my... Here we go. How's that? There's 2 good rows of radishes coming in. Look at this. Yikes. Okay. Going into the ground. They're very small, just like the lettuce seed. The lettuce seed, I think, is the smallest. See him? Okay, same thing. Tuck them in and pat them. Reminds me of my days working at the pizza parlor, patting the dough. After we made the dough, we'd make these dough balls and we'd form them, cut them up, and then pat them in a nice round dough ball and put them in the walk-in cooler until we're ready to make a pie. Okay, so there's 2 rows of the early Scarlet Globe. Those are going to be delicious. Next up, we have the Champion. Kind of reminds me of the Queen song, "We are the champions, my friend." All right, I'll leave that singing to Freddie Mercury because there's nobody like him. 28 days to harvest for the Champion. Some people like to open these upside down, so then when you have the rows, they look like they're straight up, but sometimes these are really hard to open up. So I just have to cheat here a little bit. If I'm getting hot, I shed my sweatshirt over there. Again, a little bit bigger than the lettuce. I get enough for like 2 rows. I've seen some gardeners just throw them all in their bed, and you can do that, and that's fun. But I don't know. I like to keep them a little more organized. That way you can take the hoe between and rake out any kind of weeds that would get in the way. Alrighty, same thing. Pat that dough ball down. You are good to go. Now, I am a lover of Chinese food, but I don't know how to use chopsticks, I'm sorry to say. This is a great way to recycle, repurpose, reuse, recreate chopsticks. Actually, you know what you could do? Have 2. There was this chicken pho, PHO, I used to get. They'd always give me some chopsticks. And look at that, it's even better than the other one. See that? I like that. Anyways, I saved all those chopsticks for this purpose. All right, so let's do another bed here. And then just a little bit of maintenance. I think we're done this first round of planting. I'm so glad that you tuned in this episode of Pickin' Weeds Vintage. Time to turn the soil. I know there was a spider on here, so let's move it quickly before he jumps on me. All right, Ollie, what do you think? You having a good time? Yep. It is good for you to get out and off of the couch, work the soil, get fresh lungs, get fresh air in your lungs, or lungs in your air, whatever. Whew. I like to do this by hand. I know a lot of people like to use a metal rake or hoe, but this way I can also pull some of the roots right out and get them out of here, because we don't want to have to contend with them in the summertime or in late spring when you start seeing all those pop up. There's something about it There's a nice rhythm to it. Going back and forth. See that? Spread that soil out. Nice, rich garden soil. And you can add amendments. We have two composters. Add some coffee grounds. Put your eggshells, your banana peels in there. We should probably be more diligent with our compost bin, but it's just nice to get out here and honestly work in the garden. Feels good. And I hope you also get a chance to work in your garden whenever you find the time. I think like in anything in life, the more time you spend in your garden, the more you're going to get out of it. There's no easy solution. People want to have a garden that's weed free, and yeah, you can use mulch and landscape tarp and all that. It's great, but I think the more time you spend in your garden, the better it's going to look, and you'll come to enjoy it, and it won't be such a chore. If you maintain it, then it's not a chore. It's when you let it go, like we did, then it's like, you know, full 5-alarm fire. You know what I mean? It's like, oh wow, when did I let this happen? All right, this bed is ready to go. I think we had a good first day in the vegetable garden. We planted quite a few rows of early veggies. Let's do a quick review of what we did today. All right, so we started over here at the lettuce bed, and we got some sandy lettuce in, whole row or two of that. We got some spinach in, looks like the baby leaf spinach. We got some more lettuce in the bib, another row or two of that. We turned the soil on this one, even though, hey, we got Mr. Flamingo. Even though we got to replace it. The wall's coming off here on this side. But we did get in a row of sugar peas. This is the melting sugar snow pea. That's gonna crawl up the trellis. We got a row or two of the early Scarlet Globe radish. And we got the champion radish, row or two of that. And then we did a companion bed, same kind of thing. We have a row of the sugar peas. We have 2 rows of the sparkler radish, and we have a row of the French breakfast. So I'm happy with the first day here in the garden. We did turn this bed. We had some garlic in there and some asparagus and strawberries in there. This one's another one of those beds where it's just all weedy, and this one doesn't look too bad. So we'll be working with those throughout the season when we're getting ready to plant the next round. So now we water it all in, even though the rain is coming. It's nice to put a layer of water in. Get the seeds ready. As I said, we got 3 days. Today is Tuesday. Rain's supposed to arrive after 7 o'clock. And then looks like Wednesday, Thursday, and even Friday. It's all raining. Before you know it, we'll be putting our tomatoes in there. But at least this is a good start. Some people probably already have them in. I like to get it done that first week of April. And I'm not going to do a heavy watering just because I know we have some rain coming, and rain is good for the beds. All right. Hey, this was a lot of fun. I don't know about you, but I am so excited for another season of working in the garden. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot again to all of the new subscribers and all the great views that we have on YouTube and also on Facebook. We really appreciate it. We couldn't do it without your help and support. I'm Mighty Mike. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube. We're on Instagram. We have an eBay store. We're on Flickr. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. And we're also on TikTok. I'm Mighty Mike. Happy gardening, everybody. Now we watch it grow.